Welcome along, fellow Dark Magician enthusiasts, to another video. This video is a deck profile and a meta-analysis again for December 2024 KoG season. Now, I will say, this season, I feel like it was pretty tough. Mainly because, like, older decks got more support, and I did try a new style. So I'm just going to show you guys, like, this deck here that I was trying to climb to KoG with. I almost got to KoG with, but went on a massive D-ranking streak all the way down to Legend Rank 1, so I was like, okay, Band Darkness time. So this deck focuses on getting 5 names in rotation, as well as DMG and DM in rotation, so that Magician's combination is live. It was somewhat fun to experiment with this, but it's ultimately not that viable. And as you can see, there's no link monsters in the extra deck at all. No link monsters. It was an interesting strat I tried. I had somewhat fun with it, but it was very frustrating playing against a bunch of decks where, like, you just couldn't really do anything against them. Like, you just had to watch as they dismantled your board and just, you know, just attack the game. I don't know if I will go back to this build again, because the problem is we just don't have enough starters. Like, Chronicle Magician, Chronicle Sorceress, Dark Magician, or Fusion Summoning the Dark Magicians is, like, your only ways to start the combos. Oh, and you've got Dark Magical Circle as well. Like, oh, and you've also got Apprentice Illusion Magician, which can special summon itself, and then, you know, Search DM, Resolution Magic. Like, there's so many starters we have to use just to try and start our combos, and yet there's so many decks where they can just use the skill to start the combos that way instead of relying on the cards. Kind of annoying, but oh well, it is what it is. So deck profile, go through this quickly because it's somewhat changed. Not completely though. So we got 2 Apprentice, you know, good starter. Also just attack booster, which I love. Gotta have the 1 Buster Blader, the 3 DMs, of course. You need to have access to DM always. 1 Forbidden Droplet. Forbidden Droplet comes in clutch a fair bit of times, but not necessarily to the point where you need 2. And the reason being you don't need 2 of this is like, usually you're trying to end the duel in a single turn anyway. And the best board I've been able to come up with is Piercing the Darkness, Circle, and Eternal Soul, and Dark Cavalry on the field. So, like, you're just constantly drawing cards, getting Dark Cavalry's negations, always, like, keeping these negates always live. And you're also getting a banish every single turn. So it can be pretty good, the setup. 3 Summoner's Art, because we need access to DM, always. I found a lot of my games where, like, I was either opening more than 1 DM in my hand, so, like, 1 or more Summoner's Art would always be dead. Or I was opening, like, multiple copies of Summoner's Art, and I was just getting max value out of thinning the deck, which works. It works well. Works well to just help thin the deck. It's nice. 3 Circle. Gotta search DM and gotta have that interruption. You know, just gotta have it. It's like really our strongest play. It's our best play for Bane of Darkness. Yeah. Then we got 3 Book of Eclipse, you know, because there are some boards that don't rely on spells at all, or spells and traps, like, they rely on monsters, so just flip their entire field and just swing into them. That's pretty much the play you have to do with Book of Eclipse. Like, you gotta get rid of all the monsters before the end of the turn, otherwise you're just going to be giving your opponent more cards, and then you're pretty well screwed. 1 Piece in the Darkness, you know, drawing a card, gaining attack, really good. Don't need more than 1, because, like, we're not always going to be in the position, or you're not always going to be in a position where you're going to be able to, like, have Circle, and, like, set up an advantageous draw on that, like, because you never want to draw 2 in a single hand. 1's always felt great for me. Like, sometimes I won without it, sometimes I won with it. It just really depends. Good card. Excuse me, sorry. 1 Dark Magic Attack. Gotta get rid of that back row. Because 1 Banish isn't enough sometimes. Like, you just normal summon DM, activate, oops. I didn't want to go into that swap menu. So like, you normal summon DM, activate the skill's effect to grab Poly and Diffusion Wave Motion, so that you lock them in, so that your opponent doesn't have a chance to double think and go, actually maybe I want to do this. So just lock them in, and then use Dark Magic Attack. Now they're forced to do something. Use their spells and traps, otherwise they're just done for. It's a good card. Good card, I like it, but I'd only run one at most. Fusion Recovery. Look, I've tried setting up 2 fusions at once. It's always left me with just one, at least one negate, or left me with no negates actually, and Circle, Eternal Soul. It can be a double-edged sword. This is really good for refilling your hand for discard fodder. So if you're going up against the new FTK that just came out, which is really, really annoying, you can just make Dark Paladin, use Fusion Recovery to make sure you have 4 cards in your hand, and then you just wait. And it just works so beautifully. I'll explain more about the new FTK in a moment, but yeah, we'll get through the deck profile first. Then we got 2 Eternal Soul. I have seen people say oh, 2 is a bit cursed, you only need 1. I disagree. 2 is really good. Because the thing is, if you only have 1, what happens when you lose your Eternal Soul? You only copy. You've got no recursion, no nothing. And if your opponent gets rid of Dark Cavalry, that's it. You've just lost. And you've got nothing left. With 2 though, you can safely have one of them pop, and then you've got another one in the deck waiting to draw into, or you might have both on the field. If you can draw both, set both on the field, if one of them is popped while it's face down, you can just flip the other one, and then be okay, I'm just going to summon DM on your turn. It's always good. You're not going to be left, up a creek without a paddle. You're not going to be left drying. That was a weird way to say things. You're not going to be left to dry. You're not going to be left out in the open. You're going to be defenseless. You're going to have a backup option. So yeah, it's good at 2. I wouldn't do 3. I've seen some people do 3, which if it works for them, fair enough. But for me, personally, I go 2. Then for the extra deck's pretty relatively the same. The Dark Magicians for drawing power in case you have Fusion Recovery, you want to try setting up 2 fusions at once. Because I will say, if you're able to somehow get Circle, Piercing the Darkness, Eternal Soul on the field, as well as Dark Cavalry and the Dark Magicians, that is the mega strongest board you can make. So what would be happening, you'd summon DM, draw a card, and then the Dark Magicians draw your additional card. So you'd be getting at least 2 extra cards every single turn. It's a good setup, but it's risky. It's always risky. Excuse me. Of course, Dark Cavalry, the MVP of the deck. Love this sepia effect look. It looks awesome, like a ghost rare, sort of. It's cool. Buster Blade of the Dragon Destroyer Swordsman. I tried not going without this, and then I quickly came up against some dragon decks, which I really need to shut down with Buster Blade of the Dragon Destroyer Swordsman. So I put it back in, worked phenomenally. It's a clutch card sometimes. You're versing against Tachyon, Borrowload Link, or maybe you're even up against the Dragon Pile, or Dragoonities, or Heretics. Just go, okay, Buster Blade, Dragon Destroyer, Swordsman, and then you just switch them, they all get switched to defense, and you just smash into them, and then they can't do anything. Sometimes this is how it is. Dark Paladin, as always, you can't forget Dark Paladin. Sometimes Dark Paladin comes in clutch. Excuse me, sorry. Especially against a mirror match, Bane Darkness, you need Dark Paladin so you can just deny them access to all their spells. Sometimes it works well in against Blue Eyes if they don't have alternative in hand and they've got no way to it. Also, Dark Paladins can be good against Sky Striker, though I've found that Dark Cavalry is a lot stronger since it keeps gaining attack with every single spell that hits the graveyard. What other decks are there? There is the FTK, which I'll go into in a moment. There's not a whole lot of decks that rely on spells. But yeah, there are some decks out there that do need spells, so you just gotta pick your matches wisely. Pick your fusions wisely. Number 11, Big Eye, clutch card. Surprisingly, I didn't. No, I might have used it once or twice this season, but still, it's good. It's an emergency option. Ebon Illusion Magician is new addition to the extra deck, and it is such a clutch card. Like, if Dark Cavalry's not going to be enough, like, if your opponent's only got, like, one monster on the field, and Dark Cavalry, like, isn't going to be able to, you know, attack the game on that turn, you could just, you know, like, pretend you're going to Fusion Summon, you know, just go, oh, activate Seal, grab Diffusion Wave Motion, grab Polymerization, then you just flip Buster Blader, Exceed Summon Evolution Magician, summon DM from deck, and then, you know, swing with DM, banish with Evolution Magician, and attack the game. It works out really well like that. It's great. I've had a number of matches where this was really clutch. It worked out really well. So yeah, I'm very happy about it. Very happy about it. It's a good card. And for the Link monsters, I've got the Nightmare package. So we've got Nightmare Unicorn, Nightmare Phoenix. I didn't actually go into these guys. I didn't go into Nightmare Unicorn at all, actually. I don't remember going into Phoenix, but, like, you know, it's a good generic link too. Phoenix is a good link. Unicorn is a good link 3. And then Imdak is there, you link 1 to try and start the link place, or for making the Buster Blade fusion. Good cards. Excuse me, sorry. If there's anything I would change at all, look, I know I didn't get any use out of Unicorn. I don't know, maybe throwing in another fusion, but I would always keep a link package just in case, like, the duel gets prolonged, like your opponent's, like, maybe playing, like, stun or something, or, like, they're just stalling for time, so you have to get bodies onto the field and then link them off and start getting rid of their stuff. These are good cards. The reason why I'm not using my old link package anymore is because Bish Balkan is banned. Like, your opponents, you're not going to run the risk of your opponents making tokens on your field. The only card to worry about is Nightmare Corruptor Ibli, which locks you into special summoning link monsters only. So what you can do, like, if you can get DM onto the board, you can just link it off into Nightmare Phoenix, and then you're free to fusion. Oh, excuse me, sorry, to fusion summon. Yeah, I haven't really seen anyone, like, try Ibli lock. I think I've maybe seen one person do it. Can't exactly remember how that duel went. But yeah, Ibli lock's the only card to worry about. But yeah, just pick your link package wisely. Yeah, that's about it for the deck profile. Not a very long one. So the meta overall it's very diverse, but Predator Plants are still at top. They're still at top, so if we filter King of Games deck, speed, and we search up Predator Plant. Okay, there are some. Okay, yeah, so here we go. We just got so many Starving Venom invasions. You got some people running Predator Plant fusions in other decks, mainly as, like, super poly targets. There's still a lot of Starving Venom. It's very annoying. It's the best deck because, like, if you're not aware of the skill, I'll show it here quickly. It's like, you know, locks you into Predator Plants, except for, like, excluding the extra deck, of course. To start your combos off, you can reveal 2 cards from your hand that are have the word Predab, Polymerization, so Predab cards, Polymerization spell cards, and or Fusion spell cards. So you just got to reveal 2 cards in your hand, which typically in a list, even like this, list like this, it's very easy to achieve 2 names. There's high odds of having 2 names. And I'm pretty sure you don't have to reveal different names, like they can be identical. And then you get Polymerization to your hand for free, and you get a Predab card from your deck of graveyard to your hand as well. So your combo it's just free combos. And the third effect, like, if only your opponent controls, so if you got no monster on your field, and your opponent's got a monster you don't want it around, you can just place a Predator counter on their monster, and then use Hydro to tribute it. And, like, you don't have to worry about the monster interruption anymore. That's why it's so powerful, and it's very annoying. But that's how it is. And I will say the meta has been pretty diverse. From what I've played, from what other people are saying, like, it's very It's very different. Like, you've got Gaia, you've got Star Seraph, annoyingly, Lyrilusk, Cyber Dragon, Sharks, Mayakashi, interesting, Wind Witch, you've got Zombie Pile, like the Red Eyes Undead Reborn version, Altergeist, you have Suship, you have Ancient Warriors, Blue Eyes, Phantom Knights. There's quite a diverse. Oh, Raid Raptors as well. Sky Striker. The format's very diverse. Agents. Okay, we got agents here. Cool. Yeah. Format is very diverse. Time Thief. It's a much better format than what it was when it was pretty much Predaplant and Lyrilusk at top. It was very annoying. Yeah, things are much better now. My only concern is what's coming up next. If you guys want to be aware, there's like been leaks happening on Duel Links meta. And, like most of it like has been now like officially revealed in in-game announcements. There's late January event, what seems to be Salamander Great Pyro Phoenix coming to the game, according to leaks. So Salamander Grades are getting a buff, and they're going to be coming back into the meta, I'm guessing. Like, finally. After so long, like, Salamander Grades haven't been played in ages. I haven't played a Salamander Grade match in who knows how long. We've got Rainbow Neos coming to the game. There's a new box is on the way, where we've got Rainbow Overdrive. There's Crystal Beasts are getting a buff. I will say, like, it's kind of like about time Crystal Beasts got a buff. Dragon Maids being introduced to Duel Links. Tri-Brigades are coming. Gizmex stuff is arriving. There's another Dragonity card here. Saravis. Elemental Hero gets a buff. Sorry, with emergency call. Incantations are coming to Duel Links. Ritual buff. The format's just going to get crazier and crazier. Like, it's just more diverse now. Which, by the way, incantations, I'm going to try and cook a Ritual DM version. Dodo, if you're watching, I will try and cook something. I don't know if it's going to be good now, but we'll try. Yeah, there's also Invoked buff as well. Shadow Beast coming to from the selection box. Yeah, Rest Shadow. Yeah, Dragon Maids, Tri-Brigades, Incantation, Invoked, Crystal Beast buff, and we've got Invoked, Mechaba, and Dragon Maid Xiao coming to the game. People are saying Invoked Mechaba is like the meta's under threat with this. It's limited one though, and the thing is, if you're playing Predaplant, you're not going to care about this card, because you can just activate your skill twice, to grab Hydra, put a counter on Mechaba, and then you distribute it. And then their field's gone. Like, in the Evoke player field's gone. That's it. It's still a powerful card. Still a very powerful card. Yeah, and then you got Dragon Maid Shield, which is like a big boss monster of the Dragon Maid deck. When your opponent activates a card effect, it's essentially an Omni-Negate. And then we got skills. Crystal Radiance, so Crystal Beast massive buff, which is fair. Crystal Beasts haven't been relevant for so dang long. Then you've got Dimension Grasp, which is a generic skill where you can shuffle 8 of your banished cards at random into the deck, which, that synergizes with Gizmex, especially Gizmek Orochi. That can, I think it's Gizmek Orochi is what the name is. Where's the Gizmek card? Because I know I showed it off here earlier. Yeah, it is. Gizmek Orochi. We banish 8 cards from the top of your deck face down and special summon Gizmek. So just use that skill to bring stuff back. And then we have, like, Maid's Downtime. Fair enough, Dragon Maid skill. Then you have what I'd say is a very annoying design by Konami. Dragonic Contact. It's another elemental hero skill where Rainbow Neos and Arm Neos are going to be usable. Because there was a structure deck leak that Arm Neos is coming. This skill though is absurd from the, like what the leaks I saw, and I wanted to wait to official confirmation. So you can't special summon monsters except for Neos, Yubel, Elemental Hero, Neo Spatial Monsters. Okay, fair enough. You've got like the second effect. This is, you can only use it once per turn if your deck contains Rainbow Dragon. So you send a warrior monster or a level 10 monster from your hand or face up field to the graveyard. Then you play one of the following monsters from your deck or graveyard in face down defense position. Then you add a super polymerization from your deck and a polymerization from outside of your deck to your hand. So it's another super poly search. Like just another hero skill that searches super poly. Very annoying. So you can summon Elemental Hero Neos, an Ultimate Crystal monster from deck. So like you just turbo out Rainbow Dragon. And then you've got Wind Armed Dragon monster that is treated as having been special summoned by the effect of an armed dragon monster. I'm sorry, but it's absurd. Like, why is this a thing? I do not understand why this is a thing. It's very, very annoying. Like, why are Konami making skills that just, you know, cheat out a monster, but also cheat it out in a sense that it's been summoned a certain way? Because, like, I get, like, you can summon monsters from, like, your, like, you know, set monsters from your deck of skills, and you just flip them. But we've got armed dragon monsters, like, you know, it's not, I'm not a fan of this at all. It's kind of absurd, and it's also especially thinking, like, you know, in terms of DM, we're falling behind. We don't even have any new cards currently. And, like, all these decks are coming out with busted skills and, like, so much support. Like, what do we even do? Like, what do you even do about this? Like, you don't have to worry about Rainbow Neos. Oh, bloody hell! I gotta get the card up on the screen because this is kind of annoying me now. Because like you're gonna have Rainbow Neos, like if you're not aware, like so you can. So when Rainbow Neos, I can't speak now. Rainbow Neos is fusion summon. They send a monster they control to the graveyard, shuffles all monsters the opponent controls into the deck, send a spell and trap you control it to the graveyard, just shuffle all spells and traps your opponent controls into the deck, or you send a card from the top of your deck to the graveyard, all the opponent's cards in the graveyard just get shuffled back. It's very annoying. And then Armed Neos, I don't think I've seen the effects of Armed Neos before, which, like, you know, requires an Armed Dragon monster and Elemental Hero Neos. So this card is, so I'm just reading this off screen, because I can't get it up in Duel Links. I could put the card on the screen, like to the left of the screen. If this card is special summon, you can choose one dragon monster from your graveyard and destroy all monsters your opponent controls with an equal or lower level than it. Okay. So, pretty much, you set a level 10 armed dragon monster, you use Neos Fusion, or you just use Neos Fusion just straight off the top, and then you just target level 10 armed dragon monster, and then just blow up all your opponent's monsters. When this card destroys a monster by battle, you can make this card gain the following effect. During the main phase, you can tribute this card, special summon one Elemental Hero Fusion monster from your extra deck, ignoring its summoning conditions. So, yeah, I'd say it's going to be quite interesting. Yeah, so if I look up Armed Dragon, so right, thinking about this, like you got Armed Dragon Thunder level 10. So this is going to be considered special summon by the effect of an armed dragon monster. So it just gains these effects, which is kind of absurd. You could probably set Armed Dragon level 10, the OG one, if you really wanted to. But people will be summoning out Armed Dragon Thunder level 10. That's the one monster you'll be setting to the field. Or just by reading the skill, like you can just send this to your graveyard and then set it from your graveyard. It's busted. But yeah, that's how it is. And alright, before I ran off the video, I did say I was going to show off the FTK, which if we have a look at King of Games deck, because some people have gone to King Games with this, Pride and Soul, because there is, yep, here it is. People have gotten to King Games with it. It's a new FTK. Konami released done a campaign recently with Dragon of Pride and Soul. So like you can't normal summon it or set it. It's got to be special summoned from your hand while your opponent has 25 more cards in their graveyard, and while you have 25 more cards in your graveyard, this card gains 2,500 attack and defense. That's not what the card's used for. It's actually used. Oops. It's actually used for the skills effect, because the skill's got a second effect where you can place one Dragon of Pride and Soul from your hand on the bottom of your deck and then draw 2 cards. So it is literally just Pot of Greed. It is just Pot of Greed. That's all it is. And it's very, very, very annoying. Like the fact that this is even a thing. Oh, excuse me, sorry. Konami have just enabled the easiest FTK ever, and I hope that they smash Imitation, one-time passcode, and Constraining Current to Limited 1, so like we can just stop this. Because like this, it's absolutely ridiculous. Oh, and I'd say Psychic Blade as well. Psychic Blade is another FTK enabler. Just does not do any good whatsoever. Like it's people go into kicking games with the FTK, and it's FTK. It's very, very annoying. Yeah. So while Konami are releasing an FTK, Dark Magician can't really do anything. But yeah, that is that. I apologize that this video is so long. But yeah, I do want to say, if you made it up to this point in the video, thank you to those that have been watching my videos. I started quite late in the month, quite late, I can't speak now, funny. Quite late in the year, making these videos, and look, I do like making these videos. I do apologize for being out of commission for so long. My voice was just killing me, couldn't speak properly, but I'm going to be getting back into it. While I'm waiting for our support to come. But yeah, hopefully 2025 is the year of Dark Magician. Maybe. I won't say that, like, you know, Dark Magician will end up being, like, tier 1 or whatever. Like, I would love if we could get tiered in this modern format currently now, but we'd have to wait and see what Konami releases for us. But I'm hoping that they just release something that makes the deck much better than what it is now. Yeah, that is really about it. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.